Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
Changed my coffee to a to-go coffee. We're all dressed and ready to get some brekkie. Pizza cute lumberjack. It's snowing. Yum. We split the salmon Benedict. Breakfast was super yummy. The salmon, woo! Benedict, highly suggest. And on to the next. All packed up, ready to get dropped off at the airport.
Ready?
Hot Uber ride.
Let's go.
I was gonna pay for your gas. And hopefully our flight doesn't get delayed because the weather's kind of crummy and it's snowy. But it still says it's on time, departing at 2:45, or boarding at 2:45 and leaving at 3 something. Delta, baby. Made it through TSA.
Hello.
Thank you.
Just trying to accommodate that item underneath the seat in front of you. Also, all of our bins.
Dude, my test. I'm positive. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my YouTube. This is not where I expected to be filming these Q&As, but you know, it's my time to get COVID, I guess. Yeah, it's been difficult. If you didn't see previously, I tested positive for COVID-19 on January 1st of 2022. I tested positive in Danville, Illinois, but because I finished my first 13-week contract, I wasn't gonna stay in Danville anymore. So Aaron, my roommate, dropped me off at home in Verona, Wisconsin. So that's where I am now. I did a poll on my Instagram to ask me any questions or what I've been getting asked recently. I got 6 questions that I'm going to answer that I feel like are appropriate for this YouTube and that are very informative, that are very informative. So the first question is, how did you get started to be a travel nurse? I joined one Facebook group called Travel Nursing or something like that. I joined the Facebook group and there is every single minute there was postings for everywhere across the world. You name it, every single state had a posting in this Facebook group. Now, I just started to message and reach out and comment of all the ones that I was interested in, and then I started getting a bajillion calls saying they got my message, they want my resume, email them my resume, they want like all of this information, and it happened really, really quickly. And I got super overwhelmed. The other way that I started was by reaching out to a coworker who had left for travel nursing, and I contacted her and she gave me the contact for her recruiter, and I just reached out to her recruiter directly and sent her my resume and sent her what I was looking for, and then she was able to email me all the actual contracts or statements, the pay rates, hourly, etc. And that's how I ended up going about it. The second question is, what type of life/medical insurance do you have? I'm only 24, so I'm still on my parents' insurance. I know our agency, they offer insurance, which is $500 a pay period, which ended up being a lot because we get paid every week. And so out of every week, we would be giving them $500 for our insurance. So if I was not on my parents, I probably wouldn't be doing that. I would probably reach out to like an agent that sells insurance and do something like completely different. But reach out to other travelers, see what they do for insurance, because that's definitely something that you're going to want as a traveler. The third question is, what is the hardest part about being a travel nurse? The hardest part for me was changing my morning work routines. From where I came from as a staff nurse, my routine is completely different to what I do now. Every place does it differently, and I've just tried to incorporate what their staff nurses do to make shift change and handoff just a little bit more easier on myself and on them. The other part is finding housing. Our plan was to just live in a hotel, and we reached out to our hospital, and they worked with an agency who furnished apartments. So we ended up renting like one of their furnished apartments. They are charging us an arm and a leg, but it is convenient for us, and we only have one fee versus having to pay utilities and everything else. My fourth question is, where are you going next? I chose to re-sign in Danville, Illinois. The reason for this was, one, convenience. I know the hospital, I know the system, I have my routine there. And the second one was, I don't have to stress finding another place to live. I start February 2nd. I will go to the beginning of May. The next question is, how hard is it to be away from family? Honestly, it's hard. It's not easy, but I'm getting compensated really well, which I'm really appreciative for, and my family understands and is able to support me from a distance. I did change my schedule to work 8 straight 12-hour shifts in a row, just so that I'm able to have 6 days off. This past assignment, normally we only had about 4 days off, which was not a lot of time to spend at home, which I need to prioritize my family and my friends and my personal life over my work life. So I'm trying to find that balance, but I'll let you know how it goes. And my last question is kind of a twofer. It says, what is the best and worst part? The worst part about travel nursing is definitely the patient ratios. However many nurses they have scheduled that show up, that's how many nurses are staffed for however many patients we have. Granted, it has taught me how to prioritize really well. It's taught me how to deal with a lot of stress for a long period of time. The best part about travel nursing is definitely the flexibility. The other best part is I have learned so much more about the population and education level and resources. There are so many different communities that struggle in different ways, and I've learned so much on how to provide education and meet people for where they are at, just by being a travel nurse. So that's definitely something really cool that I think I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't been a traveling nurse. I'm very grateful, and I'm excited to continue to learn what Danville has to offer me. That's all I got for now. I hope you liked this Q&A session, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.